How you doing? Welcome to Vanz Drum Vault. This is the new drum vault. You like it? Insulation hanging. Pretty sharp, huh? It's the half-done look I got going on here. Actually, should be hanging sheetrock pretty soon here. Had some permit issues, so we're cranking away pretty soon. But I wanted to at least jump in, give you guys a cool lesson since I haven't done anything in like so long. So tonight we're going to speak about hi-hats, and I want to give you a hi-hat challenge. As you know, the hi-hat is like, you know, two cymbals connected together. Kind of like for instance, you have a cowbell, right? Anyway, and you have, you know, tambourines. Yes, this is not another first grade lesson. However, hi-hat though, I'd like you to take your hi-hat and pull it away from your drum set. Put it in another part of your place you practice, your room, your garage, your basement, and bring your little drum throne over. Step aside from your drum set for a moment, and this is the hi-hat challenge. Spend, I don't know, 2-3 days of practice on the hi-hat only. Don't touch your kit. Forget about your other drums. Forget about everything else. This, unlike like a cowbell and like a hi-hat, is an instrument. This is part of your drum set, but as a drum set, you know, you have your bass drum, you have your toms and all these different things, and cymbals and cowbells or whatever crazy stuff you've added to it. But a hi-hat is another instrument. So let's take some time and love your hi-hat. Yeah, ooh, mine squeaks. And so you have a hi-hat. If you spend some time just playing your hi-hat, doing your rudiments on it, doing some cool stuff, you wouldn't believe how neat and, you know, fun it could be. Hey! Ah! So, sit here and practice just rhythms that you would normally play instead of sitting here going, a hi-hat's not just for eighth notes on the hi-hat or quarter notes, or just sitting here going. That's not what it's meant for. Well, of course it's meant for that, but have some fun with it. Goof around, play your rudiments, play your paradiddles, play your doubles, play all kinds of neat stuff. Sit around it, see what kind of neat sound you can make out of it. Play the bottom. Hey, that cymbal's rarely used, and it's always, if you flip it over, the shiniest one of all. So, because it's never greasy fingers all over it and choked, you don't have to do that. So, experiment with opening and closing it for your rhythm. So if you're doing like triplets or you're doing anything, just experiment using the whatever you want to do. Instead of relying just on hitting it, actually sit there and use the one triplet and paradiddles. Maybe take your left hand, like a Buddy Rich type thing, and reach underneath, put your thumb up top here, and play the bottom side. Or maybe take your hi-hat, hold it traditional grip. Swipe the bottom. Swipe the top. Makes a different sound because the bottom cymbal sounds different. some drummers, they do this. They come back up from the bottom. That's actually a Big Buddy Rich thing. You know, he'd sit there and go, I can't even do it, but he's, you know, because, you know, he was a traditional guy, so he only had like, you know, 1, 2, 3 tom-toms and like, what, 2 or 3 crashes, and he'd do the same thing with his floor tom to his crash cymbal, up and down, and it's great. So the same kind of concept is, love your hi-hat, have some fun with it, because you can do some neat stuff. Do some doubles. So the main thing is if you were to take like an element like a hi-hat or even a ride cymbal or a crash cymbal and just sit around with it for a couple days, all of a sudden you realize what kind of cool stuff you can do with just that element of your drum set. And then once you sit back on the kit, it's like, wow, all of a sudden you're doing this really cool stuff that you never thought of doing with just your hi-hat. And it becomes part of your beats or your grooves. All of a sudden you're like playing a beat, you're like, so you don't know, but hey, I tell you, I'm challenging you to spend a couple days or a week or however long you like. I don't know how often you practice, but give it some time because hi-hat's fun. One of my favorite instruments on the drum set is the hi-hat. Of course, my snare and the hi-hat, but all of them are my favorites. But hi-hat rocks. It's really cool. And it does a lot of neat things. It's a lot better than just sitting here eighth noting. Hey, well, I got eighth notes in my hat. I'm a cool drummer. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, hey, so there you go. Vanz drumming lesson here in the new vault. Yep, there you go. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great afternoon, evening, whatever time you watch this video. And don't forget to visit vanzdrumming.com and buy the DVD. It's still for sale, for download, for purchase, for whatever you feel like doing. So, again, hopefully this room will be done soon for some online lessons, for some streaming lessons, all kinds of craziness going to happen in here. Yeah. Later.